Okay, so here's my second uh, video for quick sketching and quick sketching for figure drawing. One of the things I stressed in the last video was that it was very important that um, to get it out of your head to try to beat the clock when you're doing um, short time sketches. You don't want to try to rush your way through it. There's really there's no actually, there's no virtue really in just saying, oh, I drew this quickly. The whole point is really to get as much information, get as much clear information as possible, um, given the short time that you're given, but not to rush it, right? So I think I think everyone will have a much healthier drawing if they just draw with clear intent. Don't try to rush. Don't worry about how much information is there in that short time, just so long as that it's clear. That minute I just spent just now drawing this figure, I was able to convey all the key things, which is female, resting, weight on one leg, um, obviously, somewhat young. All the key information is there. There's some people, who can draw, a little bit faster than others. But you're not in competition with them. Which you're in competition with actually is yourself. Really to make sure that you're observing and getting down as much clear information as possible, and not worrying at all, about how much you've actually finished, or how much detail you've gotten in there. Don't worry about that. Really, let it go. Let it go. Um, Another thing to keep in mind, and not to uh, sound like I'm copping out in terms of the model that I'm drawing here, but I'm taking these drawings. I'm sorry, I'm taking these poses from the Ges Draw Party channel, and yeah, I just clicked on it and just started drawing, like seeing the poses be presented by the model. What I'm getting at is, usually when I do like quick sketching, like sketching outside in the park or um, subway, or more specifically in my life drawing classes, um, I have the opportunity to observe. And that's something I would recommend that you do also if you're sitting out to do quick sketching, yeah, in public, or in some drawing session, which is take the time to observe, like before the model even like takes the stage. Like when the model is like, walking around, or in between breaks and things like that. Notice how the model is moved. Notice how the model is constructed. Maybe some little quirks about the model, whether they be personality quirks, or physical quirks, or things that are interesting about the character, or I'm sorry, about the model, because these are the things that are going to make that is going to help your your drawing to look more interesting, and increase the amount of I guess memorability, to the people who are going to be looking at it. Um, so I have to confess, the way I'm drawing right now. because I didn't really have a chance to really observe the model beforehand. Um, what I'm placing down here is just really just my almost like generic um, understanding of like this type of woman. Of course, she's wearing some kind of it looks like some sort of like 1960s um, uh, uh, I don't know, 60s like femme fatale, or or you know extra from a James Bond, like a Sean Connery James Bond kind of spy movie kind of costume here. And that's fine, I mean, like, okay, there's certain tropes, that we can use to help inform our drawings, but you want to look for something that is like unique, and that's gonna it's gonna stand out, and make your drawing be more interesting, and again, like memorable, to the people who are looking at it. There was um, a list of things to remember that was going around the old Disney studio. And if you ever have read the book The Illusion of Life by Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas, there's a page in there where they talk about like points to remember when animating emotions. And I think these points actually are relevant to how we should be thinking, or things we should be keeping in mind, like when we're doing quick sketching. At least some of them are. Um, One was, they said, like make sure the emotional state of the character is clearly defined. Okay, so that's I know that's very hard to get down in a very short period of time, but you definitely can convey a sense of intent, or a state of mind of that character. In other words, you can convey whether the character is in a state of distress, or in a state of ease. So that's something like you want that to inform your drawing. You should be able to feel some sort of um, uh, state of mind in the character that you're drawing. Another thing, that they also say, that we should be like asking ourselves like constantly, like, what am I trying to say here? What do I really want to show? How do I want the audience to react? Those points are very, very, very important. Again, it's like what are you doing, and like why are you doing it, right? Oh, I'm just drawing. Like, well, drawing for what? Just to show people you can draw, or are you drawing with the purpose of trying to elicit a reaction, or some sort of feeling within your audience? That's the main thing. I mean, like, we're all creating art for the purpose of connecting, right? Otherwise, we would just you know draw at home by ourselves in our room, and then you know keep it closed. The moment that like you try to present it to somebody else, you're trying to make a connection, and in order to make a connection, you have to communicate. And in communication has like so many aspects in terms of, well, making sure the information is clear. There's also aspects of making sure that the message is persuasive or appealing to the listener. The same thing goes in terms of like of your artwork. You want whatever it is that you're drawing. You want people to be attracted to it, and to understand it, and to hopefully even like revisit it in some cases. There's a video of animator Glenn Keane. I think he's doing a lecture at Cal Arts way back in the day. Might be even as way back as the 80s. And he was talking to some up and coming students who are probably they're probably working professionals at this point. But he pointed out one of the things that a lot of students have um, difficulty with is like drawing something that says something. They feel like they might have drawn the figure and okay, like maybe the proportions are right and okay, I mean it's a figure, but it just seems to be like dead on the page and it's not saying anything, or it doesn't feel like that it's communicating or anything. And then like someone might do another drawing and um it's a no more detailed drawing, but for some reason it reads and it seems to have life. And what Glenn Keane pointed out is that sometimes people are they're looking at they're looking at the subject, they're looking at the the figure or whatever, but they're not observing. And observing is really it's really important. It's in terms of like, I guess that's the thing that takes the whole process of drawing, that extra step, which is like being able to observe, not just like looking at like surface information, but seeing like what is special, what stands out about that subject, or about that character, and also including a bit of your editorial about it. Maybe you see something in that figure that that well, maybe appeals to you, but it still rings true. Whatever it is, the person might have a very strong quality to themselves. They might have a very sexual or sultry aspect to themselves, and if that connects with you, you should be putting that into into your drawing. So, the way I'm drawing this figure here, I have to admit, it's a little bit generic. You know, yeah, I mean, she's very feminine. She has nice curves. I've accentuated them a bit, but that's the kind of experience that I wanted to convey. Obviously, there's a sense of sexuality uh, to uh, to this character that's being presented to us by the model, and it'll be a shame like not to show that, right? So I think I got my point across here that I wanted to show a woman who obviously was um, somewhat young, um, yes, in control of her sexuality, has an alluring sense to herself. So so that this there's nothing wrong with like with um, accentuating the things that attract you or that speak to you. Because that's what I know. That's what people are going to connect with actually. Um, or at least it's you're gonna get a reaction from these people. Whether they like it, they don't like it. What you don't want from your audience is indifference or boredom. That is that's definitely what you don't want. It's one thing if you get a strong reaction and they don't like it, or they might feel like repulsed by it, um, or you get the other reaction, which is like they really like it, and they're really drawn to it. But at least you you elicit a strong reaction from it. That's what you want. You don't want someone to say, "Oh, okay, that's nice," or "Oh, okay, that's okay," and then they just forget about it. You don't want that. Okay, I've switched up to my one of my favorite sanguine color pencils here, because this is a little bit of a longer pose. So I might be able to put a little bit more detail in here for this one. I can actually um, uh, make a little bit more of a character with this one. Um, so as you can see, I've laid down the the main part of the gesture here. Um, Legs spread across in a cross. Sorry, legs spread apart in a cross position. Obviously, one hip is higher than the other one. Laying down my volumes here. Okay, making sure every single line um, is arcing, sweeping. Rib cage, sternum coming from like the pit of the neck. Okay, her arms are um, raised over her head. Um, Sometimes when you have like some positions that seem a little bit tricky to you, it's completely fair game, to um, try to see like uh, or to use geometric forms, using positive and negative shapes. That's a very good tool to help you get from point A to point B. Okay, so I'm building up the drawing. Um, so you can see that I work from very very light to building it up bit by bit. Um, so making the lines more defined. Um, reading more. Again, since I have more time to put details here in the face. Um, um, I can mm, put these details for the eyes and the mouth and things like that. Even though these this graphic part of the drawing is somewhat small, um, I still keep in mind that this is a three-dimensional form. So even though it's difficult to do at this small scale, keeping these things definitely it informs your um, it informs the kind of line that you put down here. Okay. I don't have that much time, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on drawing the hands. I just put enough information there so you guys can understand like what it is. You know, just putting almost like just like this mitten form and like the thumb there is enough. So okay, all right, that's pretty much it for this video. Um, Again, when you guys sit down to draw, take the time out to observe. That's my advice for this video. Observing really can make the big difference between making a drawing that just kind of just sits there, and a drawing that is informed and has some sort of like special quality that you see about that person. Okay, all right. I hope this was helpful, and I really enjoyed doing it. Hope to hear from you guys soon. All right, take care. All right, bye bye.